Well, if you loved Shirley Temple as much as I did when I was a kid, you're going to love this new great exhibit at the Strong Museum of Play. And we're talking about a Shirley Temple exhibit that kicks off here in Rochester. Shane Rhinewald, a spokesperson for Strong. And Stuart Holbrook, okay, is here. President of Theriault, which is the group touring of the artifacts. These are her actual belongings,
her
right?
Actual childhood objects.
Oh my goodness, we're just astounded. We got to start with the dress, because I love the story behind her beautiful dress right in the middle.
Yeah, it's actually from her breakout role in Stand Up and Cheer, and this is when she sang the song Baby Take a Bow with actor Jimmy Dunn. And this was the actual dress she wore, and seeing it in person, you realize how tiny she was.
She was a tiny,
She was so little, and she did one of the most amazing performances in that movie. And this became an iconic symbol of Shirley Temple throughout the years. The polka dot dress. You probably had the dolls.
I had a doll with that dress.
Exactly, exactly.
How incredible that it's here. How do you preserve it while moving it like this?
Very carefully. We have full-time curators, both on our staff and then as well as the museums that they're being exhibited at. So they're very well cared for in textiles and all the objects.
Yeah, and Shane, it looks like Strong is the perfect place for this type of exhibit.
Yeah, so we're excited because we get to be the launch site for this. So this national tour is going to Boston next. It's going out to California and Texas. So the fact that the museum in Rochester gets to be where people really will have first public access to view these objects is fantastic.
Wonderful.
And it really,
what else does she have here? So this beautiful dress, and then there's a little doll. Was this her doll?
And this was actually her doll. So wonderful little backstories to every one of these pieces. This Raggedy Ann was her personal doll before she was a star. And with the pieces on exhibit, you see the photograph of her playing with the doll. She's just 4 years old, not knowing that 6 months later, she would become probably the biggest star the 1930s had ever seen.
Oh my goodness.
That is unbelievable. And what else are we seeing here? Are these from the movies, or are these, again, her personal effects?
They are personal items, like, for example, the shoes right there. Those are the tap shoes that were gifted to her by the legendary tap dancer Bill Bojangles Robinson, who was her personal friend. And they did a number of wonderful, iconic scenes together. She wore this to the Chinese theater, those tap shoes, when she got her handprints and her footprints, the first ever to do that. And there's a wonderful picture of her taking off that tap shoe and Bill Bojangles holding it as she's about to put her footprints into the Chinese theater.
No way. That is incredible. You know, you look at this and you forget how long she lived. She passed away just last year.
Correct.
What a life. And now you get to share that with all the kids who are going to be coming in, but a lot of parents and even grandparents especially are going to think back to when they were actually entertained by her.
yeah, even as we were setting up yesterday, there were some parents that were coming through and stopping. They were just in awe of it, because so many people have memories of, they grew up watching these movies. I heard a story just the other week when I was talking about it of a little 4-year-old who the mother said she has an old soul, so she's grown up watching these, and she wants her hair curled the way that Shirley Temple had it.
As a little girl, that's what I loved about her, was, you know, she was well before my time, even when I started watching her, but I loved her, she was just so childlike, and she was, even though at the point when I knew her, she was already a grown woman, but she represented the youthfulness, the innocence that I think everyone sort of holds on to so dearly, right?
There will never be another one, and probably the most iconic child star of the 20th century. For 4 years running, she was the #1 box office draw in the world, a feat never duplicated to this day. A child.
Wow. Yeah, Tom Hanks is going, Shirley
Shirley Temple, by Shirley Temple.
So we have her autograph book with her drawings?
Not just an autograph book. She went to Disney Studios as a guest of Walt Disney.
Oh, boy.
And each of the original animation artists that created Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, did a personal illustration to her. So there you see Mickey with "Hi, Shirley," and signed by the animation artist that did it.
Unbelievable. Oh, there's so much more. This is just scratching the surface.
A small part of it. Hundreds of pieces on exhibit.
This is great.
This is opening up at Strong. When can people start coming?
Today, so at 10 a.m. when we open, people will have access to it.
Excellent. Okay,
Guys, thank you so much.
Yeah,
we could go on and on.
My pleasure.
All right.
Wonderful to be here.
Of course.
Thank you.
We'll be right back after this. Coming up, they're on their way to the Emerald City, but first they're making a stop in our studio. Some of the cast and crew of Bishop Kearny High School's production of The Wizard of Oz. Next.